Welcome to Hartwick Performance. Alright, so we figured we'd put together a video of the process and what you could expect for building a shop at your own house or backyard like I did. So the prices may vary. This was done in 2021. Started it in the beginning of April, roughly, and I secured the building after designing and talking to, I did Carolina carports. I secured the building here. This was the design on April 24th, 2021. So here is what it ended up looking like. So I did the 2 doors you can see here, and then the lean-to off the side. So the first part was to figure that out and get what I was looking for. I wanted 12-foot high walls right here so that I could have a 2-post lift with plenty of space the lift's gonna go right here roughly, so that a car can just be up in the air and no worries like that. That cost extra money to do. I think I've got the price here, like $750 extra. But after getting the building designed, they then sent just generic blueprints here to go get your permit. So this is what they looked like. I'm not sure what any of this stuff actually means, but the permit people needed it. So it's just basic structures. This wasn't my actual building, but they had just circled what type or something like that I was going with. And I took this to the permit office and the layout, a survey of my property, and I just drew a square where this place was and the dimensions, and said that's where it was going. That's all they needed. After I took that to them, I then had to pay for the permit. I live in Okaloosa County, Florida. So I ended up paying $256.50 to get the permit. So I was a bit surprised with that because this is the first time I've ever done anything. I didn't know that a permit could be that expensive. When you're building your building, just know that that's going to cost quite a bit. After the permit was done, then we needed to get concrete, so we went to several different companies getting quotes, having them come and look at the layout of the land here and just kind of get an example or an idea, of what the job site would be. And we ended up going with a great company we are incredibly happy with. It was a great experience. They were called United Concrete here in Okaloosa County, and they did it perfect. Excellent guys to work with. Here's the quote from them. They did 12 by 12 footers, 12 by 12 footers all the way around that are reinforced with rebar, and 6-inch thick slab. The whole area is 6 inches thick, and they said 3,000 PSI fiber mesh concrete. And this is a 30 by 38 slab with a little, I'd say that's 2-foot ramp to drive into the building. And in total, it ended up costing me $10,500 on the dot. So $10,500 for 30 by 38, 6-inch thick with 1 foot by 1 foot rebar, reinforced footers, and a 2-foot concrete ramp into the building. So after the concrete slab was done, we sent a picture of the slab to Carolina Carports, the guys that we designed the building and paid for the metal to be built. So then we sent it to them, and then we were put on roughly like an 8-week. I called one guy and he said they usually wait around 90 days after the slab is poured. So keep that in mind. He told me they wait 90 days roughly, because I was in a hurry and it took a while, and I was wondering, I was like, what's taking so long? So 90 days, they said, after your concrete is done, they come to the building. So then they showed up and did the building, and let's see, here it is. Some guys came, and you can see this was just a kit. They just started assembling it, and it took them 2 days, but they showed up late in the afternoon on Thursday and showed up very early, like 7:30 Friday, and finished it. So if they come early in the morning, they can have it done 1 day. Here's just the layout of what we're in right now. So we're standing right about there, the 2 doors, and it has all the dimensions on it, and you'll get this when you design the building. So then I have all of the what I paid for. So this was super good. I was super happy that the company sent this to show me exactly where your money goes when the building. So if you're like, hey, what costs so much? You can see what each door cost, how much your man door was, how much the window was, and any additions that you did. Like here, my base price, so if there was no walls on this building, it would have been $4,645 for just the building with no walls, no doors, or anything. The leg height, this is what I was telling you about earlier. the 12-foot leg height was a $780 add-on. So to me, that was super important because of the lift. Like I said, and I've learned over the years, I needed to do it right the first time and not later down the road be like, oh man, I should have upgraded. So to me, that was worth it, $780 and plenty of room. And I love it, it's very spacious. So I'll probably hang my go-karts from up there. So you can see, like right here, I was talking about earlier, how the base price would be with no sides. Left side, fully enclosed. That costs $520 for them to fully enclose a side. And then right side, fully enclosed, another $520. And then this one is the front. So the front for them was $1,930 as well as the rear. So you can see it starts to add up, but now it's becoming an entire building. So that is super nice. And this base price 8x31, that is the lean-to off the side of the building. I chose 8 feet because I thought that would be wide enough to park a car under. And if I were to do it again, I'd probably go 10 because it looks pretty tight. So if you're wanting to build a similar building with a lean-to for parking a car hauler or a car under, I haven't put one under it yet, but it does look tight. But that cost me $1,272 just to put that lean-to onto the building. And then they upgraded the framing here to 14 gauge steel. So they're talking about this, the actual structure, the frame of the building they upgraded to 14 gauge steel. And one thing they don't mention in this, but I called a dealer that I was talking to when I was looking at the buildings, and he told me he could sell a bunch of different companies worth of buildings, but he chooses Carolina carports because I guess this metal is 26 gauge steel, which he said all the other ones are 28 gauge, which is thinner. And he said all the other companies charge you extra money to bump it up to 26 gauge steel, and Carolina does that standard. That was $250 for the upgraded steel for the 14 gauge frame. Then a connection fee. So for them to attach that lean-to that I told you was $1,272. For them to attach it to this building costs an extra $150. And then these garage doors here, 10 by 10 doors. I thought these were the chain operated ones that you would have right here and just pull a chain, but they're manual, open and close. It doesn't tell me how much they are individually, but it says the 3 of them together was $2,850. So 2,800 divided by 3, I'm bad at math, but that's how much each individual one is. 10 foot high, 10 foot wide. My truck drove through it perfectly fine, and I wanted the extra height for light, more sun, and you never know, I might get a lifted truck in here or something like that. So very happy I went with 10 by 10s. I wouldn't go with anything narrower because a car or truck is going to be very difficult to get through. You can see this truck here is about in the middle, and we have maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot, or 2 feet on the sides. So 10 foot wide is what you would want for a car. Then the walk-in door. So the man door was, I got the cheapest one there is. So it's not steel, it's like a I don't know what it's actually made of, but it's like plastic. It costs $225 just for the door. Then the window here costs $170. It is 30 inches wide by 30 inches high. So they put it here, which I'm happy with. I initially wanted it there, over above my work, where my workbench will be, and Lauren said, no, put it over there, and I totally forgot to tell them, the guys building the building, totally forgot to tell them, and they put it there. So apparently, great minds think alike, and I don't. So I didn't think so, and everyone else in the world that was here thought it should go there. So this was weird. I don't know about this. Maybe if you work at a company, you know a little more about it. 20% material cost surcharge. Like I said, I bought this in April 24th, 2021. They charged a $3,098.50 for a surcharge, 20%. No clue what that means or what that does, but I had to pay it, so I did. And then we're on the last page. So this is where your total is going to be, and they're going to tell you how much you need to pay as a deposit to secure your building and get it in the system and start on your waiting list. Whatever this says first, side garage door header bar. Not sure what that means, but I needed 2 of them, and that cost $250. So here you can see how much everything costs. So subtotal was $15,000, and here's a non-taxable service. That's that surcharge, I think. But total amount order for this building, 30 by 30, 12 foot high, was $18,591, and I paid that deposit of $2,300, and the final balance was $16,267. Like I said, I could not be happier with this building, especially because I'm working in the driveway. So as soon as it rains, can't work. But this is going to allow me to work in all weather, even when it's dark. So if sun goes down, that does not dictate whether I can and cannot work anymore. So very happy and super excited to get to work on projects, especially with the ability to walk around them now, because I do have an attached garage on the house, but it is so small that we have to push the truck in till the bumper hits the wall. And once the truck hits the wall, you have to chalk the wheel so it doesn't roll back. And you have about 2 inches before the garage door hits the tailgate of the truck. So to work on it, you would have to open the garage door and push the truck out. And then you couldn't walk around it because I just had like the lawnmowers in there and the engines that I have. So this was long overdue. We are definitely going to get to work in here and break this shop in, and you'll see it eventually get more equipment in it. Right now it's just bare. They literally built this 2 days ago. But all right, let's take a look. Let's take a look around the shop and tell me what you guys think. So those of you that followed the channel from the beginning, the Godzilla episode 1, when we first got the engine, that is exactly 1 year ago today that the Godzilla arrived at the house. So pretty big step from that, working in the driveway like you guys saw, to we finally got a shop. So hopefully more to come. Thanks everyone for subscribing, and couldn't be happier for the fan following, you guys' support. You know, you probably helped me talk Lauren into getting the shop, so comment down below and tell Lauren I need a bigger toolbox. Help me out. But, yep, hopefully we're gonna build a lot more cool stuff. Put a transmission on this baby and do wheelies. Like actually get a transmission and keep slipping this clutch. Look at that. It's all engine, man. Oh, it's so unsafe. Bye.